Ngiyabonga Chairperson. Igama lami nguPhumzile.
Can't hear you.
Igama lami nguPhumzile.
Okay. Nkosazana.
Thank you Chair, uyandiva ngo? Iyavakala?
Yes.
Thank you Chair. Chairperson, igama lami nguPhumzile wakanoThanda. Ndiphuma eHerigwala region, kwiKokstad sub-region kwaZulu Natal. Chairperson, utata osimele ngaphambili osixelela ngelentoza ngeproceeding ye-election usiphindisa emva sithe ayizukwenzeka into yokuthi kuqalwe nge-3 sizoyinominata yonke i-top 7 uqhamuka yena apha uthi 3 yoqala leyo wo yoqala leyo eyesibini Linda
Sukhela phansi. Sukhela phansi.
sifundise
Sukhela phansi. Sukhela phansi manjalo mamelani. Akatyanga kuzawuqalwa uthe uzawu-electwa ii-officials zonke. Top 3.
Chair. No, whoa. You,
No.
Chairperson.
Detail.
No, I'm saying Chairperson. I'm said Chairperson.
I said here, we are going to elect the officials, and they are 7 now that you have amended the constitution. So it would be the president, deputy president, national chairperson, secretary general, 2 deputy secretary generals, and treasurer general. Where is the problem there?
No, wait, ma'am. ASP in the order, Chair. Wait, ASP in the order, because I'm writing the 2 order. Chairperson, at least. No, wait, whoa. Asibambe ngalo.
Oh, okay. Inkosi Tabani. Okay, that's how we're going to proceed, comrades. We'll do the nominations for the officials. We now have 7 officials. And of course, we have to do them sequentially. Ask for nominations from the floor for position of president. And once we are done with that, we come to deputy president. Once we are done with that, we come to national chairperson. Once we're done with that, we come to the secretary general. Once we're done with that, we come to the first deputy secretary general. Once we're done with that, we come to the second deputy secretary general, and then the treasurer general from the floor. And for any one of the nominees from the floor to make it to the ballot paper, we need 25% of voting delegates to support that nomination. Savannah Makaban. Okay. Then that's clear. So that's what we will do tonight. And once we are done with that, the elections will go and print the ballots, and the voting will commence tomorrow morning at 9 for the officials. And so the NEC will continue with the rest of the program. Are we agreed, comrades? Okay, very clear. Comrade Chairperson, please make sure that the non-voting delegates don't mix up with voting delegates.
Comrade, may we ask provincial secretaries assisted by regional secretaries to take non-voting delegates out of the delegations. There is a place there for them. Comrades, I can't know the non-voting delegates, but provincial secretaries assisted by regional secretaries will know them. Mabasuke apa They must go and sit there. Please, comrade. Kulua.
Yeah. Come with me.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good evening, comrades. Let me greet the leadership in front here at all levels, and shall I say all protocol observed, comrades. Comrades, in terms of process, I'm going to first read out the nominations per position, just to give context, so that when we get to the business of calling for nominations from the floor, we then move in position by position. The information that I have before me is that we have the adopted credentials already sitting at 4436 voting delegates, so that for any nomination that comes from the floor, we will require the 25% threshold, and this threshold comes to 1,109 seconders, 1109, so that any nomination that's brought up from the floor will require 1109 seconders. Comrades, I'm going to plead that before we start with the process, we please ask all observers to remove yourselves from the main section and possibly move to the back to assist with the process, please. Can we please have observers remove yourselves from the main sitting area to the back of the hall? We'll wait for that to happen, comrades, before I read out the status of nominations before opening for floor nominations. Are we moving, comrades? Are the observers moving? And in the process, the team from the Elections Agency, please ready yourselves for the counting. As we move, comrades, we get observers, non-voting delegates to move. I'm just going to try and establish from the chair who is sitting where, because I cannot see the extreme sections. Thank you. Thank you, comrades. The status, comrades, of the nominations is as follows. We are not calling for nominations yet. I'm just giving you the context so that when we get to the process of calling for nominations, you know who has been nominated. And I also need to indicate to the House, comrades, that nomination acceptances have already been signed by all the nominees, but that with the new nominations coming from the floor, we will then require them to come up to the stage. To my extreme right, there's a desk right in front, just in front of the Gauteng delegation, to sign acceptances. So once you have met the threshold and we confirm that you are going to go on the ballot paper, you'll have to come through to the front to sign the nomination acceptance form. So we start the process, comrades. For the position of President, the nominations, we have 2 nominees in this category. For President, we have Comrade Zweli Mkhize and Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa. For the position of Deputy President, we've got Comrade Ronald Lamola, we have Comrade Oscar Lubabalo Mabuyane, then thirdly, we've got Comrade Paul Mashatile. For the national chairperson position, the status is as follows. We have Comrade Gwede Mantashe, we have Comrade David Masondo, and we have Comrade Stanley Matabata. For the position of Secretary General, we have Comrade Mdumiseni Nduli, we have Comrade Kumulo Masuwale, we have Comrade Fikile Mbalula. And of course, comrades, in terms of the old positions, we only had nominations for position of Deputy Secretary General, only 1 position. And for this, we had Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane and Comrade Phoebe Potriter. And lastly, comrades, for the position of Treasurer General, we have Comrade Benjamin Pejani Chauke, we have Comrade Ule Mabe, and lastly we have Comrade Mzwandile Masina. As we move to the process of calling for nominations, comrades, can I get confirmation that non-voting delegates have moved? You know where you are seated that you're not sitting next to comrades that are not supposed to be sitting there. Are we ready to start the process, comrades? Okay. Comrades, as you know, and it has been indicated earlier, that nominations from the floor are such that no province can nominate more than twice. We are aware of that, comrades, that requirement. So I'm going to start with the position of President, and in identifying any further nominations from the floor, I will start from my extreme left, and I have been made aware that the most extreme is the Western Cape, followed by the Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, Mpumalanga, and of course we have KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, Limpopo, and the Free State to my extreme right. Northwest as well, my apologies, and Northwest, far extreme. So comrades, we will start now. Please, may I indicate as well, comrades, that as you raise your hands, not just your hands, but it has to be your name tag. The agency staff will be counting on the tags that you have, and they only have to count those written non-voting delegates. Nothing else, comrades. Please do not stand as the counting takes place. Remain seated when the counting takes place. And that's how we will deal with this process, comrades. For position of President, as I indicated, we have Comrade Zweli Mkhize and Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa. Are there any further nominations from the floor for the position of President? Any further nominations from my extreme left? I do not see any hands. I'm moving right across. And I did hear the chairperson of the previous session saying that you do raise the provincial card in order to indicate anything. Is there a hand, comrade? Are you nominating? Comrade, if you can indicate who you are, where you come from, and the person that you'd like to nominate. Thank you, comrade. In Gauteng has raised the name of Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. Is Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma in the house? Is it behind? Comrade, your name has been nominated. Do you accept? Comrade Nkosazana has declined nomination. I proceed, comrades, towards my right. In the Gauteng area, are there any further nominations for the position of president? There is a hand. Can you get to the mic, comrades? Can we give him a chance, please? Proceed, comrades, if you can indicate your name. The mic doesn't seem to be working. Can we get some help, please?
No, thanks, Chair. My name is Mofokeng Toriso. I'm a delegate from Sidibeng, Alina Ramzolase branch in Enfuleni. I rise to request a closure of nominations.
Comrades, there's a proposal for closure for nominations. Are there any seconders for that, for closure? Any dissenting views, comrades, to further nominations? None. Thank you, comrades. We proceed. We will revisit the final list of candidates per positions, comrades. We move on to the next position. Position for Deputy President. I indicated earlier we have the following: Comrade Ronald Lamola, Comrade Oscar Mabuyane, and Comrade Paul Mashatile. These are three nominees. Do we have any further nominations from the floor? I'm going to do the reverse this time round, starting from northwest to my extreme right. And are there any further nominations from the floor? Okay, next row, comrades. Can't quite see, I don't see any hands. Gauteng row. There's a hand.
From Ward 7 in Gauteng, I propose closure.
There's a proposal for closure, comrades. Seconders to that? Any dissent? Is that seconding? Any dissenting views? We close, comrades. Is that it? Thank you. For the position of National Chair, is there a hand at the back? Is that pertaining to Deputy President? Can someone move to the mic? Do we have a speaker? Do we have anyone at the mic?
I'm here.
Proceed, comrade.
Yeah, my name is Kenny Makota from Ward 48.
Sorry, we can't hear you, comrade.
Going up and down, sorry. Relax. Yeah,
Comrades, I cannot see where you are speaking from.
I'm speaking from here.
Proceed, I can't quite see, but oh yes, I can see you now. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Comrade, my name is Kenny Makota. I'm from Ward 48, branch secretary. I'm standing here to nominate.
Are we talking Deputy President, comrade?
Yes, comrade.
Proceed, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Gauteng province. I'm standing here to nominate Double D, David Mabuza, as a Deputy President. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades. The name of Comrade David Mabuza has been nominated for Deputy President. Is Comrade Deputy President here? Do you accept, comrade? Comrade David Mabuza has declined nomination. Thank you, comrades. I'm simply going to go through the process. Any further nominations from the center here? Any further nominations to my right? KwaZulu-Natal? To my extreme right, any further nominations? I don't see any hands. We close the position of Deputy President, comrades, and we move ahead. Thank you. For National Chairperson, as indicated earlier, we have Comrade Gwede Mantashe, Comrade David Masondo, and Comrade Stanley Chupuma Tabata. Do we have any further nominations from the floor, starting to my extreme left, for National Chair? Thank you, comrades. Any further nominations for National Chair to my extreme left? I don't see any hands. We move inward. Nothing. KZN? Nothing. In front of me, is there a hand, comrade? Oh, proceed, comrade.
The system is on section 139. Hey, we are dealt with here. Chair, mine is not nomination. I am afraid that you don't ask people whether they are available or not. Yes, you are not asking people that they are available. Leave those ones, they can hold us.
Comrades, you probably didn't hear that. Yes. I did do that.
It's because of, we know Comrade Gwede is not available.
Comrade?
Yes.
Comrade?
He's going to decline. He has been in the officials for 15 years.
Comrade, you were not
attentive. He can't break the record of our Tambo. We're not going to allow him to do that.
Comrade, you are not attentive. I'm sorry to say that you were not attentive. We move ahead, comrades. National Chair from this section, anyone? Okay. Gauteng area, any further nominations for National Chair? No hands. The next row, Northwest, everybody else to my extreme right? None. We close this particular category. Thank you, comrades. We move on. The next position, Secretary General. We have Comrade Mtumseni Ntuli, Comrade Pumulo Masuwale, and Comrade Figile Mbalula. Any further nominations from the floor, starting to my extreme right, Northwest? No hands. We're moving inward. Anyone? Next row? None. Gauteng section. We have a hand in front here. If you can identify yourself, comrade.
Thank you very much. I move in the close of nomination. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's a proposal to move for closure. Are there any seconders? Any seconders for closure? No dissenting views. We close. Is there a hand? Thank you. We are still on Secretary General.
Comrade IEC, my name is Sandy Leput from the Eastern Cape. This is a very serious and sensitive process. I think you need to be very meticulous when you are running this process. This thing of proposing closure is out of order. If a comrade has no one to nominate, he doesn't have to stand up and go to the mic and propose closures. It's unprocedural, it's wrong, we must protect you, we must protect the process. If you have no one that you want to nominate, keep quiet. Because if you are raising an issue where one comrade will come and say, we second, I don't second, we must not allow it.
Thank you, comrade. We've noted that, but I think, comrade, we did give opportunity to all the hands. I did ask after the proposal to closure whether there are any dissenting views, and there were none. We now move to the position of First Deputy Secretary General. I need to inform conference that we've just received an email addressed to the chair of the Electoral Committee, Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe, from Comrade Phoebe Potgieter, declining her nomination for the position. Can I clarify? Declining for the initial DST. We do not know the position as things stand. I'm going to now call for nominations for the first DSG, comrades. Are we well understood? I'm going to start from my extreme left this time around.
There is no decline for both positions. First and second. Yeah. So you just have to explain that.
Okay, comrades, further notification, Comrade Phoebe has declined for first and second Deputy Secretary General. So I am now going to invite nominations for the first Deputy Secretary General, starting from my extreme left, comrades. Can we have a name from a branch from the Western Cape? Anyone from the extreme left? I don't see any hands. I can see a hand. Is that Eastern Cape? There's a gentleman right in front from the Eastern Cape.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Yanga Zikina. I'm a delegate from the Eastern Cape. I'd like to nominate Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa for the position of DSG.
Thank you, comrade. The name of Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa has been nominated. Is Comrade Gwen here? Comrade Gwen? Oh. Okay, Comrade Gwen is not available. We move on, comrades. Next, after the Eastern Cape, KZN. Is that a different province, comrade? Let's give him a chance, please.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm Comrade Madasa from 118. I stand to nominate the name of Marupene Ramaphosa.
The name of Comrade Marupini Ramaphosa has been nominated. Is Comrade Marupini here? Comrade Marupini, where are you?
On a point of order, Chair, on a point of order, Chair, Limpopo, on a point of order. On your far right, Chairperson, on a point of order.
Proceed, comrade.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Given Wimana, the Deputy Secretary of the ANC in the mighty Sekhukhune region, a delegate from Ward 5 in Ephraim Mogale sub-region, Sekhukhune, Limpopo. Chair, when you were announcing the candidates, I think you should have announced the candidates for the DSG, because that's what the branches have nominated. You should not go to the first DSG and the second DSG to seek the nominations from the floor before you tell us who has nominated the DSG in terms of the branch nominatings. Thank you very much.
Comrades, I will repeat. For the initial DSG position, we had Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane and we had Comrade Phoebe Potgieter. And I've indicated initially that Comrade Phoebe had written to the chair of the committee, electoral committee, withdrawing her nomination, and we received a subsequent notification from her in writing declining both first and second DSG positions. I hope that does clarify it all, comrade. We are now left with the name of Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane from the initial. So hopefully we will indicate where the name after nominations falls, comrades. So we were at the point where the name of Comrade Marupini Ramaphosa was nominated, and I requested Comrade Marupini to get to a mic. Is Comrade Marupini here? Comrade Marupini, please get to a mic. I can't quite see where you are. Can you indicate, can we get a mic, please, to Comrade? Comrade Marupini, do you accept nomination for First Deputy Secretary General?
I decline the nomination.
Okay.
I decline the nomination for the first DSG.
Thank you. Comrade Marupini Ramaphosa has declined nomination for the first DSG. We move across, comrades. Comrades, we need to clarify this. We have the name of Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane that was nominated. Closure for first deputy. Closure for what, comrade? Comrades, I'm told there's a board, there's a hand to the left. Can we wait, comrades? There's a hand.
Where is it?
There's a hand. I can't see whether it's Women's League. Can you please proceed? I can't quite see.
I'm here, Chair. I'm here, Chair. I, Chairperson. Western Cape.
There's the Women's League. Does it read Women's League? Can we please get a mic to the front? And we are still on the first DSG, comrades.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Makoma Makurupechi, the delegate from the ANC Women's League. We are nominating the name of Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo for the position of the first deputy DSG.
Is Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo in the house? Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo? I'm told, comrade, I can hear at the back that she's not in the country. Is there an indication somewhat that she is available, a letter or anything? Comrade from Northern Cape, are you responding to this nomination?
No, thank you, comrade. My name is Disang Molaole from the Northern Cape, Orapeleng Kutwang branch. I'm standing up to nominate the name of Tina.
Comrade, can you wait, please? I haven't noted anybody. We are still on Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo. We need to get an indication whether she's available for this position. Is there a letter? Is there a number? We are getting her number. Somebody is making contact with her, comrades. Sorry, comrades, if you could just accord us this opportunity to close this one. We are making contact with her. Okay. Which one? Thank you, comrades. Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo has declined nomination. We move on, comrades. I think we were now in the section, KwaZulu-Natal section. Any hands? None. Hands here, comrades. There's a hand. Oh, there's Gauteng. Gauteng, proceed.
Sorry, Chair. I'm here. I'm so sorry.
Can we give them a chance, comrades?
There's Gauteng here.
Are you from Gauteng, comrades?
Yes.
What section is this?
Yes, I'm here. My name is Judith.
No, just wait, comrades. This is not Gauteng.
It is Gauteng.
Okay, proceed, comrade. I've pointed to the gentleman here in front. Yeah?
There was a proposal that this must be closed. Okay, this is Elliot Soja Sitole from Commander Kofifi 135, the last ward in Johannesburg region, Gauteng. And it was seconded that it must be closure. I'm confirming it. Close the nomination.
Comrades, we will run the entire section to check that there aren't any further hands. And at this stage, we have the name of Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane from the old comrades. Can we just wait? Can we just wait? Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane was nominated for the original position of DSG. There are now two positions, first DSG and second DSG. We need to confirm her nomination in either of the two. So this position doesn't have clarity as to who is standing because she was nominated for the initial position. So I'm going to allow the section from, there was a lady in how,
yes.
ANC caucus, are you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
My name is Judith Chabalala.
Comrades, can we give her a chance, please?
Thank you so much. My name is Judith Chabalala.
Comrade, can you just wait a bit?
Okay.
Thank you. Proceed, comrade.
Thank you. The name of Comrade Nomvula has been raised from the branches for the position of the DSG initially. She is available for the position of the first DSG, and that's what we want to confirm, and we want to say she's uncontested as the DSG. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, comrades. Before I close, I just need comrades, no comrades. Can we be systematic and methodical about this? Comrade Nomvula, where are you? You have been nominated, comrades. You were nominated, as you know, for the initial DSG position, the only DSG. Gauteng has just confirmed your nomination for first DSG. You were nominated by the branches and you accepted nomination. Do you accept for this particular position, comrade? For first DSG, can we get a mic? Can you get a mic to you, comrade? We have to clarify this. There are two DSGs, first and second. We are confirming with comrade. Thank you, comrade.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I accept the nomination of the first.
Thank you. As indicated, the name of Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane came from the branches. We confirm. My extreme right, Northwest Free State, any further nominations? Thank you, comrades. It's very clear. We close. comrade, can you get to a mic and speak? Can you get to a mic and speak?
Why at the mic? You are being noted. There's no further nomination. There are no further nomination on the first DSG. You must close the nomination.
Comrade, you clearly don't listen
Close the
yourself.
nomination.
No, comrade. I have indicated that we have closed this position.
Chair, it is quite clear.
Comrade, we have
Nomvula is elected uncontested.
Comrade,
and we should close the nominations. Let us not be creative and try to sponsor further nominations.
Comrades,
you have called people from Vietnam. You have called people from China. There's only one DSG candidate. It's Nomvula. Close that nomination. Thank you.
Comrades, I want to call a point of order on you, Isa. Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane was nominated for the position of the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, and there were two names. The name of Comrade Phoebe and the Comrade Nomvula. Comrade Phoebe declined the nomination, and it means that the position of the Deputy Secretary General has Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane. And people that were nominated later on that position declined the nomination. Now, Isa, you are supposed to open a nomination of the second DSG as amended by the Constitution of the ANC and the branches. Don't mislead us.
Comrades, I have indicated, comrades, that we have closed first DSG. Comrades, can we please, comrades, can I just go back? The name of Comrade Marupini Ramokgopa was nominated. Comrade Marupini Ramokgopa declined nomination. Comrade Marupini declined nomination. Then we had the Women's League nominate the name of Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo. Comrade Vuyiswa Tulelo also declined nomination. Then Gauteng moved over to confirm that Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane was nominated, and they would like to confirm her nomination for first DSG. And I confirmed with Comrade Nomvula, who confirmed her availability for the first DSG. We tested the process. No further nominations were coming through other than points of order. Now, comrades, can we hear what Northern Cape is saying? Can we hear what the Northern Cape is saying? Can somebody from the Northern Cape get to a mic?
Chair, si nominator uthina Jomat Peterson apa, not the omnye umuntu. So this what decline abantu nominator. Here our nomination apa. So for this much alikomba esmooth kangaka. Please, here our nomination.
Comrade, please don't shout because I can't hear what you're saying.
Leadership, we are hereby nominating the name of Tina Jomat Peterson.
Is this for the first DSG, comrade?
Yes.
Well, comrades, when I asked, yes, but you need to be clear, comrades, I did ask the question.
The closer was not seconded.
Comrades, you've nominated Comrade Tina now. Is that who? Juma Peterson, is that what you're saying?
DSG, we're nominating her for first DSG.
Is this still for first DSG? Okay. Comrades, only one person can speak at a time. I think we all need to be in the same conference and not have mini conferences inside. Comrade Tina, Juma Peterson has been nominated for first deputy. Is Comrade Tina in the house? Comrade Tina, Juma Peterson.
1, 2, 1, 2. Comrade Chair, please give us an ear. My name is Moses Mwalusi. I'm from ZFM in the Northern Cape. I'm coming from the sub-region David Kraper. I'm coming from the branch Ward 7 in Pabalelo. I nominate the name from the floor of Comrade Tina Juma Peterson.
We have heard that, comrades.
Chairperson, on a point of order, Chair.
A point of order? What is the point of order, comrade?
No, the mic, Chair. Yes, Galuk, I want to raise the point of order, Chair.
I can't
Chair,
see where
yes.
you are. I can't
I'm
see.
here, Chair, on your far left, Chair. On your left, Chair.
Proceed, comrade.
Yes, Chair. I think really, Chair, you are degenerating, Chair, this house. Chair, your process, Chair, went this way. In each and every nomination, you said you're going to start either on your far left, and end on your far right, or else start on your far right and end on your far left. But you're not listening, leadership. And then, even in this process, you started on your far left, you got to the far right when there were no nominations. But now, just because there's an agenda that you want to bring, you are going back to far left. Whereas you,
Comrades, I think it's very clear that the name of Comrade Tina Juma Peterson has been nominated, and I am asking the question to Comrade Tina whether she's available for the first DSG. Comrade Tina?
I accept the first DSG.
Comrade Tina has accepted nomination. Can we please have seconders for Comrade Tina Juma Peterson for the first DSG position? Can we have the agency team prepared to count? Can we have seconders, please, for Comrade Tina Juma Peterson? Comrades, if I may ask you to please sit down. Please sit down so we can count those hands. We cannot count shaking cards. Please sit down to make our work easy. Can we please get off the chairs so we can count properly? Can comrades please sit down so we can count properly?
Sit at this side. We need somebody.
Please allow the agents to count. That's all that's happening now. Look, there's counting. Allow the counters to do that. Yeah. Please, man, just sit down. And once the counting is done, you can then raise your board. No, you can't. Oh. Wait. Hello, comrades. Please take your seats, man.
They're going round and sing. We can't count. You stop counting.
What are these people doing?
Tell them we have to wait until they
We'll wait. We'll wait. We are very patient. No, we'll wait. We have to count. Baba Salepa, Salanupa. Take your seats, man. Comrades, please take your seats. Take your seats so that we can complete the counting. Otherwise, you will be here forever. Take your seat, comrades. Take your seats. Take your seats, comrades, so that we can complete the counting. Come. What for? Yeah, crazy. Okay. Listen, comrades, please give elections the opportunity to count. Please take your seats, comrades. Once we are done with the counting, you can raise your board, we'll hear you out. Yeah. We will hear you, comrades. We will listen to you. We will listen to you.
It was disrupted.
Well, comrades, the counting was disrupted. We'll have to do that again. And you must be seated. Don't jump around. You still have the opportunity to vote, comrades. You still have the opportunity to vote. It's okay. It's okay. You can raise as many names as you want. That's what the rules say. Yeah, please tell them to... They must count at it.
The count is proceeding after it was disrupted. Thank you, comrades. The name of Comrade Tina Juma Peterson qualifies. We move on, comrades.
So,
what's the point of order, comrade?
What we're having there is a hotly contested nomination process, this for the deputy SG position. This is something that has been a heated debate. We mentioned earlier on that the top 6 is no longer the top 6. There are now 7 positions, and that's because there is now a position for second deputy secretary general. We're going to be joined by my colleague Natasha Piri, who is in Nasrec at just a moment, because as you can see, there's been fierce contestation around this issue.
Comrades who are sitting next to us never raised their hands for the first time. For the second time, they raised their hands. What does that mean? Is that the democracy we are speaking about?
Comrades.
So, Chair, we are here confirming, requesting you to be independent. This process of the second nomination, we can't allow it, because clearly, the first candidate, you took time deliberately to allow another, I think I must be straight, another caucus to consult each other to raise a name, which is wrong. Chairperson, please help us, otherwise you must withdraw from this process.
Thank you, comrades. Can I just... Thank you.
Mamelani, comrades. First thing, Hlalani Phansi, Scooby process. Hlalani Phansi. Now me Michael, like that. Unieka ngabom. Sukani Michael. Kanfunu teta ni pakame. Sukani Michael. When you want to speak, you stand up.
Comrades, just to clarify to conference, I received information from our teams that they cannot count because they are waving and singing and dancing. So we had to stop the count and allow them to be orderly and sit down. Hence, we had stopped it initially because of the singing and the dancing. We couldn't proceed with that process. So we did the count and we finished. And comrades, I'm going to move ahead to the next position. What is the issue, comrade?
Chairman, thank you. My name is Andile KwaZulu-Natal, Musahlatla region, Ward 2, Mtonjanin. Sal, I just want to check. Maybe you think my interest is there. It's not there. My interest, who's in charge here? I've attended many conferences of the ANC. Questions are addressed by the person nominated or elected by the NEC. In this case, is Comrade Halima Muklante, must be the one who answer all or respond in all the political questions. Not you. You are an agent to run elections, not to respond to political questions. Lastly, the mistake you are doing here, you allow yourself to be told that you are not fair. Comrade Mahambe Hlala comes here and assists you. You ignore that. You just make a summary of people who are making noise. Uhlalo Kwete was not here. Halima, assist us, please. You have seen all the incident. When people are singing, please stop them, because we can sing louder than them. Don't provoke us. Thank you.
Chair, I'm coming on another point here. I'm actually, Chair, sorry, my name is Rewolele Masite from Sidibeng in Gauteng, from Ward 18. I'm a delegate. Comrade Chair, I want us to take each other serious here. This process is very transparent, and we can all see. I'm actually calling for a recount on the on the following point. We have seen who has nominated that comrade and it is from Northern Cape. Numerically, Northern Cape has less than 300. So, no. Can I be allowed to finish? This process is transparent and we can all see the provinces that are supporting the name. And the provinces can't reach 1,009. They are 2 provinces. We are calling for a recount. Try another better method. That thing is not going to move.
Chair, I think now is my chance to speak. When I commented earlier on, I asked when the rules were presented. That the criteria used by the NEC to appoint the IEC, I asked what the criteria did you use. You never answered. I asked you, what is the credibility of that appointed IEC? The question was not responded. I asked you, how many agencies applied to run this process? And then what did you choose these ones? Answering that questions, that because of you, and we're not going to vote today, we're going to vote at night. We know what you did last time, 5 years ago when we were here. We know what you did. You are not going to do it again here. We assure you. But the issue, you can smile as you wish. The issue of the first DSG was closed. It was closed and the name was fundraised by people who got interest in this issue. I'm not going to allow it anymore.
My name is Sabelo Tingiswayo. I am from Abisayengwe branch in Mokhale, Westland, in Gauteng. Listen, we just received the rules here. Part of the rule, they said, once the nomination is closed, you move to the other one. The election committee, they did that, but because for whatever reason, he decided to reopen this nomination more than 3 times. We want to know at whose interest. We don't want to believe that there is someone who's sitting somewhere who's sending instruction to you to say, Ramaphosa must not be elected. So we want to check them so that we have an objection because this nomination has been closed. You had to open it 3 times. When the rule says, once the nomination is closed, let's move to another one. You did move to another one. When you called the committee, you said, go to the DSG, second DSG. Only when he said no, we couldn't allow that. So we put an objection to that. Can you please make sure you go to the second DSG because the DSG has been closed. First, you want to tell us there are people who want to tell us that who is there is someone there who's paying for all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, comrades. My name is Lawrence Botwe from Ward 8, Nakamudi Rimolema. Comrades, we look upon to assist the movement. What the election team is doing is totally out of order. They are causing havoc in the house. They made it clear before counting. Before we started nominating, they made it clear before we started counting, before we started nominating that they are going to start from right to left or from left to right. And when Comrade Nomvula accepted the nomination, the movement was already concluded from left to right. She even emphasized that she needs to conclude all those roles that did not indicate whether there is any nomination from their side. So whatever that they are doing here, it is clear that there is a sabotage for the name of Comrade Nomvula. She closed the matter, she came back and reopened it. Why do you reopen it? We need a free and fair election. What you are doing, you are not giving us a free and fair election.
Well, thank you very much, Chairperson. My name is Kenny Murolong. I am from the Northwest Province. Comrade Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, we are running a risk of degenerating a very credible process by entertaining frivolous point of orders in the middle of an important process of nomination. I'm going to suggest that you should rule on whether these point of orders are consistent with procedure or whether they have any basis with respect to how the process has ensued. Should you fail to do that, you are going to run a risk of people who are wittingly disrupting these nominations for selfish and unfettered interest. We are not going to allow that. You are not second-class members of the ANC. We wish to implore you to please rule on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Take your seats. The nominations for the first DSG are now done, and you are not the ones who must say right to do so. So please don't burden yourself with that responsibility, because the agency, it is the agency which has the responsibility to manage this process. Let's give them that opportunity and right to do so. Because if you abrogate to yourself the right to say close the nominations, it is not correct. So please take your seats, comrades. Let's proceed to complete this process. Because these are nominations, it's not voting. You still have to go to the booth and vote for the person that you support, and the results will be declared. Please take your seats, comrades. Let's proceed. Let's continue, comrades. Take your seats. Thank you. There's no order, Chief. No, there's no order, man. There's no order. We're dealing with nominations. There's no order. Thank you very much. Let's proceed, Buntle, to the next nominations. Take your seat, Chief. Yeah.
Comrades, we move on to the position of second deputy. I'm going to start from my extreme right. Nominations. There's a board right in front. First row. Thank you, comrades. Proceed.
Oh, you want it now? Oh, Chair, I'm on.
Whoa, comrade. I don't know who's speaking. There's a lady who came from the... Correct.
No, it's me.
There's a lady in black. Can we get a mic through to her, please?
They must open this mic.
All right, Chair Lady. My name is Sintabse Mangadi from Butabelo, Ward 30 Branch Secretary. I nominate the name of Comrade Me Marupi for second DSG.
Comrade, the name of Comrade Marupini Ramaphosa has been nominated. Is Comrade Marupini, where are you?
For the second DSG.
Do you accept nomination?
I accept nomination for the second DSG.
Thank you. Comrades, could we have seconders, please, for Comrade Marupini Ramaphosa for the position of second DSG? Agency team, can you get going?
What you're seeing there is the counting on the floor at the ANC's 55th National Congress. A lot of the argument, the contestation, confusion has been around the appointment, or rather the nomination of the DSG position, Deputy Secretary General. Now, you recall that there's been an electoral change. As opposed to 6 positions, they are now voting for 7 positions. There are 2 Deputy Secretary General positions, of which Nomvula Mokonyane was originally nominated for the position of Deputy Secretary General when it was still just the top 6. Now she has been nominated for the position of First Deputy Secretary General. This is where the confusion started, because basically what has been happening is that Bontle Mpakanyana, who is one of the directors of Elections Agency, has found herself in quite a quandary, because she firstly announced the 2 positions, Deputy Secretary General, the first and the second, without actually ensuring that people understand that the first Deputy Secretary General was to be considered by Nomvula Mokonyane, who's been nominated, who accepted the nomination. And then you had Phoebe Potgieter, who withdrew her nomination. First position of Deputy Secretary General and the second Deputy Secretary General. What then happened was that there were nominations from the floor. Various people were being nominated. At some point, you had Gwen Ramaphosa, who declined the nomination from the Eastern Cape. Maruping Ramaphosa also declined the nomination for position of First DAG. She is one of the newly appointed ANC Women's League's national coordinators. So she declined that nomination. Vuyiswa Tulelo also declined the nomination. But then Tina Joemat-Pettersson, nominated as first Deputy Secretary General by the Northern Cape, she accepted that nomination. And as you know, as it was announced earlier on, that I think it was 1,125, 25% that has to come from the floor for you to be able to go into the next round for voting. So the frustration from the delegates really has been the back and forth of, why are you not dealing with the conclusion of the first Deputy Secretary General, of which Nomvula Mokonyane appeared uncontested? But the Northern Cape, as we mentioned earlier on, actually did say they nominate Tina Joemat-Pettersson for first Deputy Secretary General, and she accepted that nomination. So after that counting, it seems that she may not have gotten the numbers, but we'll clarify that. There's now voting that is happening now for the position of a Deputy Secretary General number 2. And the delegates were really saying it seems like the process is a bit disorganized, because they believe that the Electoral Committee Chair, which is Kgalema Motlanthe, should be running the proceedings. But Kgalema Motlanthe is saying, no, I can't do that, because the Elections Agency is the one that is officiating over this. Bontle Mpakanyane receiving a lot of criticism over how she does that. At the beginning of this process, you'd recall she said that no province can nominate somebody twice. At some point on that issue of Tina Joemat-Pettersson, the Northern Cape seemed to appear to have 2 nominations, that of the same person, and there's order of how the provinces, those who are eligible to vote at this point, are seated. Some of the delegates there are saying, no, but you seem to be going back and forth when you're supposed to proceed according to the room. And as you can see, the counting is being done manually. Now, I just a bit of context or where some of this come from. You remember that Carl Niehaus tweeted earlier on that there is bias by this elections agency, saying this elections agency is pro-Cyril Ramaphosa because its directors are Bundle Mpakanyani and Dren Nupin, who've actually worked with Cyril Ramaphosa. But more importantly, that Dren Nupin is the wife of Nupin, who is a lawyer in the partnership, a partner in the law firm that represents Cyril Ramaphosa. Possibly this may be the source of where some of this agitation is coming from, the lack of distrust, because it was put out there that there is some conflict of interest. So let's listen into what is happening now at the moment.
There's a card from the Northwest.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Raini Mutsumi, Mahikeng Sub-Region Ward 10, Northwest Province. I stand to nominate the name of Ronalda Nomalunga for the second DSG.
Thank you, comrades. The name of Comrade Ronalda Nolamanda has been nominated. Is Comrade Ronalda in the house? Comrade Ronalda? Comrade Ronalda, where are you? Comrades, can we give her the opportunity to accept nomination? Can Comrade Ronalda get to a mic, please?
That side, Chair.
Where are you, comrade?
To your left-hand side.
Do you accept nomination, comrade?
I humbly accept, Chair.
Thank you. Comrades, please can we sit down so we can do a proper count? Agency staff, please don't start the count until the comrades are seated. Can we ask all the comrades to please be seated so we can do a proper count? We don't want a repeat of what happened earlier. Please, can we sit down? Just raise your tag. Continue raising your tags. Don't shake it. It's sufficient to just raise it. Thank you.
now is the counting of the nomination for the position of Second Deputy Secretary General of Ronaldo Domanda, whom you've heard has accepted the nomination. That's alongside Tina Jumat-Peterson. The counting is occurring to see if they meet the threshold for nominations of the floor. The voting for these top 6 positions isn't happening at the moment. It's just the counting of the nominations, particularly from the floor, and of course ensuring that people are accepting the nominations. Those who had previously been nominated had already signed their nomination certificates, but as we heard earlier on, what seemed to get some delegates or catch them by surprise was the declining of nomination for position of Deputy Secretary General 1 and 2, First and Second Deputy Secretary General of Phoebe Peterson, so she declined that. There was also a very interesting moment earlier on when Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma was nominated by Gauteng as candidate for president. Of course, she declined that nomination, and there was a nomination for David Mabuza from Gauteng as the Deputy Secretary General. He also turned down that nomination. It's been a very heated process as the delegates try to understand how not only the counting itself is done, because you've seen a very frustrated Electoral Committee Chair Kgalema Motlanthe asking people to sit down, and the counting is actually occurring manually. Those who are allowed to vote in this particular process have been told to sit in front, so it's happening manually, and you've got the electoral agency agents who are there on the floor manually counting card by card, and it's been frustrating for the agency and the committee when the delegates do exactly this, stand up, whereas the officiators are trying to do their jobs. Of course, all of this adds to not only the intrigue, but the suspicions that are already there. You recall that the Secretary General S. Magashule raised the issue on the first day of a conference, saying that he has suspicions of tampering with the electoral process. The ANC using a new electoral system, they say it is modernizing, and this has also led to electoral changes in terms of the number of positions that are being voted for. It's 7 now. So let's just recap on some of those positions. Earlier on, the nominations for president were announced. Nothing has changed there. Cyril Ramaphosa, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, and we mentioned Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma declining a nomination from Gauteng. The position for deputy president, so it's a 3-horse race, so to speak. Paul Mashatile, Oscar Mabuyane, Ronald Lamola, and David Mabuza declining a nomination from Gauteng. Then you have the position for chair. Gwede Mantashe, Stan Matabata, and David Masondo are the ones who are duking it out for that position. For Secretary General, you have Fikile Mbalula, Phumulo Masaole, and Mtumseni Ntuli. The first Deputy Secretary General, the nomination is Nomvula Mokonyane. The position of Deputy Secretary General has now been multiplied by 1, meaning there is 2. So let's do the maths. There's the first Deputy Secretary General, second Deputy Secretary General, and all of this is what's gotten the delegates rather excited and raised the ire of many, because they felt that there was some finagling by others with the process to make sure that it is in favor of one faction over the other. Bundle Mpakanyane, the director of the elections agency, agency at pains to explain that she is merely following the process, that if there's a nomination from the floor, one province, one vote, and she will go according to provinces, then she will accept that, and then there will be the counting process, which is happening now, to see if that person meets the threshold of 25% of the number of delegates there. The counting process continues until they find out whether a person has met the threshold, and they move on to the next position. We've seen for the First Deputy Secretary General position, the nomination of Gwen Ramaphosa being declined, Maruping Ramaphosa declining the position for First Deputy Secretary General as well. Vuyisa Tulelo also saying no. Tina Jumat Peterson nominated for the position of First Deputy Secretary General, but it seems like we're waiting to hear the official word on whether or not she has met that threshold for that position. But at the moment, what is happening is the counting of votes on nomination for position of Second Deputy Secretary General, and she has accepted that nomination alongside Ronalda Domanda, who is also said yes to that nomination. We will see the voting of the top six continue after this. And remember, they're still going to be voting for 80 new members of the National Executive Committee. So it's a very long process that is unfolding at the moment, and one fraught with distrust, one must say, because of the factionalism that the party has been experiencing. And there hasn't been much said about the position of a deputy president, but there are those who are actually warning that one must be mindful that whoever is elected as a deputy president is in pole position to then move over to the pole position of a president. And what we've seen, some dramatic events over the past couple of hours, if I can call it that. We know that the KwaZulu-Natal branches and PEC support Zweli Mkhize for president. In the past few weeks, Limpopo's support has been considered as pretty stable, but it seems to be shifting. And word is that the PEC seems to now back Dr. Zweli Mkhize for this position of a deputy president, whereas it was understood by the branches that they're going to the conference to endorse Cyril Ramaphosa. And there are allegations, rumors on where this puts Stan Matabata, because he is contesting the position of chair, whether this horse trading, if it can be called that, negotiations, quid pro quo is all about whether he maintains this position or perhaps there's a different position that he may be eyeing. But obviously that can't be true, because we've seen the nomination process and he is still there firmly at the nominee for chairperson. And Paul Mashatile has also been what some have said a divisive figure in the provinces deciding. Gauteng, there were those who were suggesting that perhaps because of a choice of Paul Mashatile, those on the ticket of CR17 as he's known may not necessarily go with what is believed to be the endorsed ticket. Many who are saying that it's Ronald Lamola. There is, of course, Oscar Mabuyane, who's also competing for this position. Well, it's going to be a long night for those who are at the conference in Nazareth, and of course the journalists who are there watching, you and me who are observing these proceedings. Let's just listen in a little bit more on the
And then you come and you make a zero.
Yeah.
We are doing well.
Well, we are left with the last position.
It will be tight, and you can see their emotions are high.
Thank you, comrades. We were at a point of getting seconders for Comrade Ronalda, and she has met the threshold, comrades. We move on, comrades. Any further nominations for second DSG? The Gauteng row? Nothing? In front of me, any further nominations for second DSG? Nothing? And then KZN row, any further nominations? Nothing, thank you. The next row, Northern Cape row? Nothing. And then the far end, any further nominations for second DSG? My extreme left? Nothing. We close this category and we move on. The next and last position is that of Treasurer General. As indicated earlier, we have Comrade Bejani Benjamin Chauke. We've got Comrade Pule Mabe and Comrade Mzwandile Masina. And I'm going to start from my extreme left. Any further nominations for Treasurer General? Is it the Western Cape that's sitting at the far, far end? Any branch from the Western Cape that would like to nominate for Treasurer General?
Thanks. My name is Zakelu Chabe from the Tula Omar region, Ward 39. I'm stand to nominate Mamukwen Ramaphosa.
Thank you, comrades. The name of Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa has been raised from the floor. Comrade Gwen, are you available for the position of Treasurer General? Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa has accepted nomination for the position of Treasurer General. Could we please have seconders for Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa? Thank you.
So what we're seeing here is the counting now for the nomination from the floor, or rather the nomination from the floor that continues for the position of the Treasurer General. Pule Mabe, Petani Chauke and Zandile Masina are the ones who have already signed the nomination certificates from the floor. It's Gwen Ramaphosa who's being nominated, and what happened before this was the position of second Deputy Secretary General. So Ronalda has Nalumango from the Western Cape has met the threshold for that position, so she then goes into the voting process for that. So we'll see if there are going to be additional nominations. Doesn't seem so for the position of Treasurer General. Dr. Gwen Ramaphosa nominated again after being nominated for the position of Deputy Secretary General and declining. And that was from the Eastern Cape. She was nominated for that position for the first time. The first Deputy Secretary General, she declined that, and she was nominated now for the position of Treasurer General alongside Pule Mabe, Petani Chauke and Mzwandile Masina. So it should be interesting to see whether this would be as equally divisive or not. But just looking at some of what has made delegates unhappy, not only in terms of the nomination process, but the outcomes. You'd recall there was a lot to be said about Tony Yengedi, who's managed to get his qualification or disqualification overlooked, as some say, because of a previous fraud condition. Apparently that was overturned by the Electoral Committee. There was the issue of the nomination from the Women's League of Batabile Dlamini, who was disqualified for being re-elected to the NEC in the Eastern Cape. The Provincial Executive Member Andile Lungisa also not being able to stand because he was suspended. All of this because of the step-aside policy that has been much maligned by those who are saying that it's being used to disqualify and get rid of actually real contenders to those who are top of leadership at the moment. And this particular process itself has been mired in some of that sentiment of distrust, how the counting is being done, how the names are being called up, and who's allowed to speak first in terms of the nomination, whether or not there's been a repeat from the provinces. It's something that is being closely watched by the elections agency that has been hired to do this job. They've been working on ANC elections for 25 years, not just for ANC doing their internal elections. They do elections work with NGOs. They do work with other political organizations within the movement, corporates as well. But their integrity has been called into questions by some of those who have claimed that there's a rigging of the system. And of course, this has been duly discounted by the ANC's internal electoral committee chair, Kgalema Motlanthe, earlier on at pains to say to the delegates that they signed up for this process when there was an adoption of the credentials and how the process itself was going to unfold. At some point, one of the delegates asking, why aren't you the one chairing? There he is, President Kgalema Motlanthe, former President Kgalema Motlanthe, who is the ANC Electoral Committee chair, asking him, why aren't you in charge instead of this woman? They were referring to Bontle Mpakanyana, who is one of the directors of elections agency, who's officiating the process because they are the ones who are running the nomination counts. So it's going to be a number of hours, as after this, the delegates are going to vote for the top 7. It was top 6, but because of electoral changes, it's now top 7, and after that there's still going to be the voting of the 80 NEC members. And just looking at what has happened over the past hour or two, Dina Jumat Peterson, her name has come up for first Deputy Secretary General and second Deputy Secretary General. She is the former Energy Minister. She's been active in politics from a pretty young age, political and labor activist. While a student, she campaigned for the ANC, particularly in the Northern Cape province during the first democratic elections in April 1994. She's worked in the legislature as well, has been a member of cabinet as MEC for Education, Arts and Culture, and of course she has been with the National Executive Committee since 2017, and in 2018 she also became a member of the National Working Committee. And just looking at, we're going to try to get as many biographies as possible of some of those who are part of this. Ronalda Nolumango is herself from Stellenbosch in the Western Cape. She is part of the Deputy Secretary General, second position that has accepted that nomination. And at the moment, okay, let's listen into what the count is for the nomination of Gwen Ramaphosa for Treasury General.
Comrades, any further nominations? Is there a hand? The comrade in the yellow t-shirt and the program.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, comrade.
My name is Malos from Limpopo, Pitamkawa region, Polokwane sub-region. As part of a renewal and generational mix that emphasizes us young people, I stand to nominate the name of Andile Lungisa as Treasurer General.
Comrades, the name of Comrade Andile Lungisa has been nominated. Is a comrade in the House? Is Comrade Andile Lungisa in the House? If he's not, comrades, is any indication, a number, a letter? Unless the proposer has the detail, comrade. Can we get assistance in terms of Comrade Andile Lungisa's details? Unless there is a letter that is written.
Can you open it for an order? The name of Comrade Andile Lungisa was nominated by the branches and you know it. So you must just reaffirm it and put it on the ballot. Don't say, where is Andile Lungisa ready for? You know the name was already there.
The name wasn't there, comrade.
Yes, the name was there, ma'am.
Can we have help with Comrade Andile Lungisa's details, please?
Hello,
Are you going to help, comrade?
Yes. My name is Msugisi Myeki. I just got a call from Andile Lungisa.
Can we have his number?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you forward it to one of the electoral staff there, please?
Comrade Andile Lungisa was disqualified because he's suspended by the African National Congress.
Thank you, Comrade Chairperson. I think Comrade Chairperson of the Electoral Committee has indicated that the comrade has been suspended. We move on, comrades. Any further are those further nominations?
Yes, Chair. My name is Ntasa Adoro. I'm from the Western Cape, Cohort 9, Drakenstein sub-region. I nominate Umama Lindiwe Sisulu.
Thank you, comrade. And the name of Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu has been raised from the floor. Is Comrade Lindiwe in? Comrade Lindiwe? Is she here? Is she here?
Chair, I will accept.
Is Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu in the house?
Yes, I have responded, Chair.
Thank you. Do you accept nomination, Comrade?
Yes.
Thank you. Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu has accepted nomination. Could we please have seconders for Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu for Treasurer General? Thank you. Comrades, we are counting.
Okay, so So we're going to go for another round of counting for nominations. This one for the position of Treasurer General, of which Gwen Ramaphosa has been nominated and accepted. Lindiwe Sisulu is now the one who has been nominated. And earlier on, it was an issue that I mentioned just before we went back to the results of the second Deputy Secretary General, the results of Ronalda Nomlanga, her results, where she accepted nomination, and she's obviously now accepted the nomination alongside Maropeni Ramaphosa. So I did mention the fact that there was unhappiness about the step-aside policy and those that could actually qualify for this nomination process. You heard one of the delegates stand up and nominate Andile Lungisa. Of course, you heard Khalima Motlanthe, the Electoral Committee chair, reiterate the fact that he is one of those that has been disqualified. So there may be quite a few of these that you may see. Of course, there isn't much to go through in terms of the top 7 positions. We're pretty much there. Pule Mabe, Betani Chauke, Mzwandile Masina, who are hoping to clinch the position of Treasurer General. We've now seen the nomination of Gwen Ramaphosa and Lindiwe Sisulu. Speaks to an issue that women activists, not only within the party, but those who have been watching, have been commenting on. We had Mamuluku Kubai, who is one of those who was nominated for the position of Deputy President, but did not meet the threshold, was raising about the number of women candidates for these positions. It was interesting to hear Professor Isiba Defo say to my colleague Vuyo Mvoko earlier on, say that women themselves are failing themselves. So is this a correction of the situation, the fact that you don't have enough women on the top 6? Remember, the configuration is not only gender parity, there's also the issue of provinces. Quite a lot of the delegates coming into this conference wanting to shift the needle on the provinces that are represented. So let's take you to the conference and listen into what is happening now. The counting has been done. Let's listen.
The name of Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu has failed to meet the threshold. We proceed, comrades, we proceed. Any further nominations from the floor for TG? Nothing this end. KZN? The next row, any names? Thank you, comrades. We close off. The following comrades are the candidates for the following positions. For President, we've got Comrade Zweli Mkhize and Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa. For the position of Deputy President, we've got Comrade Ronald Lamola, Comrade Oscar Mabuyane, and Comrade Paul Mashatile. For the third position of National Chairperson, we've got Comrade Gwede Mantashe, Comrade David Masondo, and Comrade Stanley Matabata. The position of Secretary General, we've got Comrade Mtumseni Ntuli, Comrade Pumulo Masuwale, and Comrade Fikile Mbalula. The position of the first Deputy Secretary General, we've got Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane, And we have Comrade Tina Jumat-Peterson. The position of Second Deputy General Secretary, we've got Comrade Marupini Ramokgopa and Comrade Ronalda Nolomanda. And lastly, for the position of Treasurer General, we've got Comrade Bejani Benjamin Chauke, we've got Comrade Pule Mabe, we've got Comrade Mzwandile Masina, and we have Comrade Gwen Ramokgopa. Thank you, comrades. That's the full complement for the different positions. As indicated, comrades, we will then go and prepare the ballot paper, and voting will be conducted in the morning. And before that happens, comrades, just a reminder that in order to vote, you need to bring your name tag. Without this tag, comrades, you will not be able to vote. Is that clear, comrades? You have to bring your tag. And the ID. Right. That is the position, comrades, but before voting takes place, plenary will be informed of our readiness to start voting. You will be collected by marshals from the voting hall, from the plenary to where the voting will be taking place. Thank you, comrades.
Right, so that done and dusted, the nominations for the top 7 positions. Remember, now voting is going to get underway for President, Deputy President, Chairperson, Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, of which there are 2 positions, and Deputy Secretary General. Right, let's listen to the elections chair, Kgalema Motlanthe. He was bidding the delegates good night after what has been some heated debate. We've got Gwede Mantashe speaking now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Tomorrow morning, let's just go and take a power nap. Let's just go and take a power nap and come back here at 9. The meeting, 9 o'clock today. Let's go and take a power nap and come back at 9. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Gwede Mantashe bidding the delegates good night, or should I say good morning, because they are back again in a few hours. So let's see if we can bring up the numbers of the provinces that are going to vote, and of course the various leagues that are going to lend their support to those candidates that have been nominated for these 7 positions. The breakdown of it, let's see, we've got the Eastern Cape, 684. That's what it looked like in terms of the numbers. It's at 14.84%. So that's how much of the total number of votes that they get. KwaZulu-Natal, its delegation has increased from 18.84% to 19.79%. There were questions around this at some point, and you remember at the beginning of the conference, the issue of credentials, there were some questions raised about KwaZulu-Natal and allegations saying that they were locked out. And just going down, when we look at the total number of delegates, as you can see, 4,250, that was the initial number, is now down to 4,013. If you look at the NEC, the breakdown there by percentage point, 2.39% for the ANC Women's League. A measly 0.49%, and this is what probably some are saying is part of the problem of the lack of representativity, why it is struggling so much. So what we're seeing there is the number of voting delegates who will be voting at the 55th National Congress, and voting gets underway at 9 a.m. as you heard Gwede Mantashe say earlier on, as they vote for the top 7 positions. Just a quick roundup of who that is. For the position of President Cyril Ramaphosa and Zweli Mkhize. For Deputy President Paul Mashatile, Oscar Mabuyane, Ronald Lamola. For Chair Gwede Mantashe, Stan Matabata, David Masondo. Secretary General is Figile Mbalula, Pumulo Masaule, Dumseni Ntuli. First Deputy Secretary General, Nomvulo Mkonyani and Dina Jumat Peterson. Second Deputy Secretary General, there you have Marupeni Ramokhopa and Ronaldo Nolmanga. And for Treasurer General, Gwen Ramokhopa has now been added to the nomination from the floor to join Pule Mabe, Petani Chauke, Mswandile Masina. Lindiwe Sisulu did not garner enough numbers to make it onto this particular contest. Well, I think this is where we're going to leave it in terms of our live broadcast. For now, the ANC's 55th National Congress continues in just a couple of hours as voting for those pivotal top 7 positions continue. It was top 6 at first, now it's top 7. The numbers can be somewhat confusing, I know, and this is why there was all of that acrimony and anxiety, frustration expressed there on the floor. We'll back again in the morning with our team live from Nasrec as they continue to give you live rolling coverage from the ANC's 55th National Congress. From the team at the Globe here and those at Nasrec, it's good night for now. It looks like that. Just before we go, there is just one last word from my colleague Mzwandile Mbeche, who's going to wrap up what has been a heady atmosphere, no doubt, particularly for those who are inside. You, surely, Mzwa, I'm not sure if you can hear me, if you were feeling the heat, not only from the floor in terms of the frustration, but weather-wise as well. It's certainly hot in this studio. Tell me a little bit more about it. What has it been like? And do you think it was a successful, though fraught, process? Mzwandile, this is our political editor, Mzwandile Mbeche, who is standing by as delegates file out of the plenary session where they have just been nominating the top 7. Mzwai, so how would you characterize the past couple of hours?
Well, a very good, is it good morning? Yeah, I think it's a good morning to you, Tsepiso, and of course the viewers. It's been a long day, a night and the morning, whatever you call it. It's been really, really, really long. But of course, as you saw the scenes earlier, jovial mood, I guess the conference mood, but at times there were instances where you thought perhaps things are not going right, when there were those points of orders and points of orders. But of course, somehow they did manage to get the situation under control. In fact, you still have a number of delegates who are still here, and then they're filing out, singing their various songs, and all buoyant, really. They all feel they've got this. And of course, we know that we'll only be able to know if whatever they believe is true when they have cast that ballot. And then the elections agency now has just gone to prepare the ballot paper. Remember, for the longest time we've been referring to the top 6. From tomorrow, it's no longer going to be the top 6, Tsepiso. It's going to be the top 7 because they have added the second Deputy Secretary General. So during the constitutional amendments, that's one of the areas that they looked at. So the names are out there now, so we know those that have been on the ballot, the president and the position of president, which is CR. That's how they call him, his grouping here, Cyril Ramaphosa, and of course ZM, that is Zweli Mkhize. So, and there are a number of other positions that we've always been speaking about. So it's quite interesting to see what's happening here. But as I've said, Tsepiso, in a gathering like this, sometimes you are not able to to get a really sense of where it is going, because sometimes you feel this grouping is more buoyant, and then the next minute they simply respond. So it will really be clear once the voting has started. We are going to reconvene here at 9 o'clock, where the delegates will now be able to start to vote for the top 7. And then, of course, it's a historic situation. It's always been the top 6, and then it's now the top 7. And I think the part of the consideration really of expanding it was to include the issue of gender representation, because if you look at some of the positions, they are contested only by women. So that does tell you that you will have at least more than one representation in the top 7.
Zondile, I want to touch on that issue of confusion, because at some point I saw Wonke Mpakanyana, who's one of the directors of the elections agency. She herself seems to be flustered by that. Me, from the studio watching, I seem to get a little bit lost, because I do recall that the Northern Cape twice nominated Tina Jumaat-Peterson. And when there was this announcement of the constitutional changes, that there are going to be 7 positions, we saw that play out live with Nomvula Mokonyane. There was a nomination for her as a Deputy Secretary General initially, but with the second nomination or second position added, then from the delegates there was frustration that why are you calling her Deputy Secretary General or First Deputy Secretary General when she actually was nominated for Deputy Secretary General. So will all of this play a role tomorrow? Because I really want us to set the scene. I myself find myself a bit confounded. And journalists asked these questions to Kgalema Motlanthe earlier on. Will there be people who have they been nominated for a position twice, as it were? Will they be voted for another round? What is the clarity on that?
Okay. I think it's very simple. I think one of the reasons there was confusion, Tsepiso, is because they had just introduced a new position. So somehow they were not sure how to handle it. And of course, we're not even sure how to call it. Remember, you initially had the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary General. So what they've done now, they've added the second Deputy Secretary General. So some of the delegates here were arguing to say, because Nomvula was initially nominated for the Deputy Secretary General, it should stay as is. So there was a bit of confusion. Even the elections agency wasn't really sure. But of course, I guess those you would characterize as the teething problems of something that is new. So as time went on, so they were able to resolve it. And of course, delegates were a bit confused as well. But in the end, really, and then you had the proper nomination as we know it. So as now, all those names are on the ballot. So Nomvula Mokonyane, for example, is on that position that she had been nominated for. And someone who had been nominated along with her, Phoebe Potgieter, decided to decline. So now, then in her stead, then I think the Northern Cape, as you've correctly said, nominated Tina Jumaat-Peterson. So basically the original Deputy Secretary position would now be contested by Nomvula Mokonyane and Tina Jumaat-Peterson. So, and then of course the second one, so you have the new people who are coming in there. But otherwise, the situation seems to have been understood at the end, and everyone seemed to be happy. And then of course they are looking forward to voting for their new top 7 from tomorrow.
And I noticed that the frustration by some of the delegates was how this was, officiated, the issue that the room was clearly selected, designated by province and those who had voting rights or not. But then there were those who felt that it wasn't going according to the numerical order or alphabetical order or whatever order had been set out there, where the Northern Cape mentioned Tina Jumaat-Peterson twice. So therein was part of the confusion. Was it for the first and second Deputy Secretary General position, or was it that they were just emphasizing her nomination for first Deputy Secretary General?
Because there was a bit of confusion, they were actually not sure themselves. In fact, the elections agency also did cause a bit of confusion, but then in the end, as I'm saying, so they were able to give direction, even those delegates, to say no, with Nomvula Mokonyane, she stays in the position she was originally nominated for. So, and then with Phoebe Potgieter having withdrawn, and then Tina Joemat-Pettersson was then nominated for the position that Nomvula Mokonyane is contesting. So in the end, then it became clear that Tina Joemat-Pettersson is not necessarily being nominated for the second one, but for actually the original DSG position. So once that was cleared, so somehow it was able to move on.
All right, and that's where we will leave it, so you can move on. So I'm sure you're pretty tired, as you mentioned. Follow those who are leaving the plenary hall so you can get yourself right, ready and fresh for tomorrow as voting starts for the ANC's top 7 position at the 55th National Congress. From the team here in Auckland Park and in Nasrec is goodbye for now. You're watching SABC News Channel. Please do enjoy the rest of your viewing here.